Just so you all know at home, this is recording, but it's not recording you. It's only recording my screen. However, if you unmute yourself and have a question, it will probably record you, but that might be cool. So let me know. Not much. There's no permits to be had right now, and they just retired a permit guy who does Teller County. So it's like we don't even know who is doing Teller County permits for construction. So we'll plan to be here for a little while, but I promise I will let you know as soon as I know. So what happened is I think the community partnership just got really excited. They got really excited about the new building, and then they were like, yeah, soon. But then it's like there's only a couple people who do those construction permits, and they're still waiting on permits for construction. Then you have to get like, you know, occupancy permits after that. So we'll be here a while. And then they have to do the downstairs and the middle floor. The only floor that's complete is the top floor. So when the basement is completed, 6 conference tables from the middle floor have to go to the basement so that they can redo the middle floor. So we'll be here for the summer most likely. Okay, but we'll be here. That's the great thing. Yeah, we'll be here. And then I'm hoping maybe when summer comes and it's warmer, maybe we could do like a Wednesday evening in the park or something like that. So yeah, so I would like to do that. The park's actually really nice at Memorial Park too. So all right, so what I'll do is when I edit this video, I will chop it up until this point so none of this blabbing will be on there. So hello, I'm Leah Wilson-Felis. This is an all levels yoga class for the community partnership. So I have a live class here. I've got people on Zoom and we're recording today. It is the end of March as we're recording this, as we're doing this class. So it's the beginning of allergy season. Yeah. Yes, so I've chosen a mudra for allergies, and it's known as the Bee Mudra. We have done this one before. I know we have, because it's really helpful for me when I get congestion in my throat, when my nose is running a lot. This is the one that I do. So sit however you want to. What you do is you make an OK symbol with index and thumb. And then you're going to slide that index finger down so that you're making a really small OK. And then your middle finger is going to touch the tip of your thumb. So it's kind of like your index and your middle finger make a spiral in your hand. Yeah. And then you've got the ring finger and pinky finger extended. Yeah, so that's called the Bhramara Mudra, and it's the gesture of the bee or the gesture of honey. So again, on the other hand, both hands do the same thing. Really small OK with that index finger, and then the middle fingertip touches the tip of the thumb. Ring finger, pinky finger extends. We can just let that rest loosely on your lap. If it doesn't feel good to hold it in your hands, don't feel like you have to. You've already made that connection, that circuitry in your hands. So at any point you can release it. So let's just try to relax our shoulders. Typically, the area of our body where we feel allergies is our chest, our lungs, our throat, and our head. So as we breathe, imagine that energy rising up to your chest, your throat, your head. And as you exhale, imagine that energy draining out. You may experience drainage today as we're doing this exercise. So imagine that and use your breath to be the vehicle of the energy. Breathing in and lifting the energy up to your lungs, to your head. Exhaling and just letting your body relax, letting that energy drain out of your head. There's this ancient Chinese proverb that goes, the nose is for breathing, the mouth is for eating. The reason for that is that we're really meant to breathe through our nose, especially inward. As we breathe in, try to bring it through your nostrils. If you need to, you can always let that breath out through an open mouth. But our nose has little hairs in it and mucus, and those little hairs and that mucus collect all the stuff, all the bad stuff as we breathe in. So it's our filter. So filter your air as it goes into your lungs, and then let it out either through your mouth or through your nostrils. So as we move through our movement practice, our asana practice today, I'll be reminding us to breathe into our chest, into our head, to clear those channels. I already feel clearer in my nose. I'm going to release my hands here. I'm going to let someone in this room right here. All right, and then we'll start to move a little bit. So let's expand our arms out in front of us. Spread your fingers wide, and we'll just kind of scoop up a couple times, inhaling, and then floating the hands back down. So if you have a shoulder that's hurting you, don't go too far into that movement. Just kind of lift up as high as you like, and then exhale, floating back down. So with yoga, with all movement, try to move fluidly, but if something hurts, don't push into it. One more, last one here. And release those arms. You might notice that I'm sitting cross-legged, but you can sit however you want to. So if this hurts, you could even sit up in a chair or up on pillows. So we're gonna stretch out our arms a little bit more. Interlace your fingers and lift your elbows there, and you might feel your fingers pop when you do that. And then we'll push our hands out in front of us. We'll wring it out a little bit, right and left with our hands, opposite with our ribs. You can feel that in the back of your shoulders, in the sides of your ribs, underneath your armpits a little bit. Feels pretty good to start moving. And then come back to center and just scoop those hands up to the sky. Release your hands, but keep them up there. Left hand's gonna grab the right wrist, and we'll pull to the left. So whatever hand is grabbing, you're gonna pull to that direction. And it's okay if you do the other side first, because everything we do, we always do on the other side. So we'll bring it back up, and now my right hand is grabbing my left wrist and then pulling over to the right. And I try to take that deep breath up into my head, up into my lungs, and then bring it back up. Let's release those arms down. Bring the hands back behind you. Open up that chest. Let your head draw back. I like to always let my head just kind of rock from side to side. Nice. Now, as you come back up to seated, just kind of sweep your hands around your body, let your hands come together, and we'll slide them back to the heart. So we've done this before also. It's known as the breath of life. So let's do it with our breath. Inhale and interlace, lift your elbows. Exhale, push your hands out, round through your back. We'll inhale to sweep up to the sky. And we'll exhale to float the hands down. Open your heart with your inhale. Squeeze those shoulders back. And then exhale, coming back up so that the arms can just kind of sweep around you, back together, and inhaling back to the heart. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, lift, interlace, and exhale, push and round. Lift it up. And then release. Sit up tall, let those hands come back behind you, and then just lift up through your sternum. Reach forward through your belly button. Come back up to stacked, round those hands around the body, sweep them around, and then back to the heart. Nice work. I love that one because it gets my chest and my arms all warmed up. So again, sit however you like. We're just going to continue into the neck a little bit because I know everyone has a neck. And everyone needs to stretch it. So let's lean our head to the left, and I feel that stretch on the right side. I'm just gonna breathe here fluidly, and then I might offer a couple additions here. So gently, you can take your left hand to your right shoulder and just remind it, it's okay, right shoulder, you can drop down. Or if you need something more aggressive, you could sweep that left hand up over your head, and that's going to kind of pull the head a bit further, but you just have to remember to keep that right shoulder lowered. Now remember, movement is always okay too, so you can draw your head forward a little bit. You can lift your head back a little bit. Just see what you can find in there. We'll spend a couple more breaths here. So if you are not enjoying this and you would like to move to the other side now, feel free to do that. Remember, I'm simply a guide. I'm simply offering suggestions for this practice. So make sure to make it your own whenever you need to. I'm going to go ahead and release my head with my hand, roll my head forward, chin to chest, and then draw the head to the right. And at first I felt something happen on the right side where it was like squishing, but then as I stayed, it let go. And then I'll add one of those offerings where you either cross your heart, right hand to the left shoulder, or right hand up over your head, and just drawing, assisting the head, if you will. Keep on breathing, add some movement if you'd like, stretching out that left side of the neck, trying to remain relaxed in the left shoulder. Now what a stretch is when we lengthen the muscle. And a muscle that is contracted or active cannot stretch. So we have to try to relax. Breathe. And let go whenever you're ready. Release the right hand, chin to chest. And again, just keep on stretching if you need to. I'm just going to rock my head from side to side here. So I'm kind of carving out my collarbones, chin to chest, rolling my head over to the left, chin to chest, to the right. Back and forth just a couple more times, just to kind of lubricate the neck. This time, roll your head all the way back and stay with your head just looking up to the ceiling. Try to release those shoulders down. Reach your hands out while you're looking up like big wings. Rotate your palms down. Rotate them back so that your thumbs are facing down to the floor. And then reach your hands back to touch your fingertips. So you're still looking up, just the hands are reaching back. I'm going to start to look down, interlace the fingers, and lift my hands away from my low back. So even if your legs are straight here, you're just kind of lifting your hands away from the floor behind you. Nice job. Release that, release those hands, and let's just roll up to center and roll those shoulders out. Crunchy shoulders. Mine are. Yours are too. Some of you. All right, let's continue here. So let's give our legs a little break. They've been crisscrossed for quite some time now. So just extend them out, wiggle them out, start with your feet, move into your knees a little bit. We're gonna get pretty isolated with those movements here. So just hold yourself with your hands if you'd like. I'm gonna start with my right foot. So I'm just gonna kind of like wave hello to you with my right foot. But then I'm really bringing it into my knee. And so I can go out really easily. I was a ballerina. I can get my foot all the way to the outside. But when I go in, it's like, gets a little stuck. So I'm going to lift my butt cheek up there and actually get it to go all the way. So what that does is it's rotating the ball of the femur into the acetabulum of your pelvis. It's good stuff. It's good rotation, lubrication, stretching those ligaments. Let's do the other leg. So I'm just gonna wave to you with the left foot, and then I'll get nice and deep with it and go all the way by lifting my left butt, my hip bone off the floor and getting my toes all the way in. Nice. All right, let's come on back up when you have finished your rotations. We'll rotate our feet up to the ceiling, knees up to the ceiling. You can slide right down. I always like to sweep up first, lengthening my upper body and then folding over top. Yes, brush the dirt off first. Lots of mud season now here in Colorado, so it snows, melts, and mud. We track it all over the place. Let's kind of just round our back here and look down at the knees or down at the shins, or you can even really round into it and try to gaze back at your belly button. Nice work. Now hanging on wherever you are. I'm at my feet. You might be at your ankles. You might be using a strap today. We're going to sit up really tall. So lift up through your crown, still hanging on through that forward fold. So still folded forward. And then we'll round our back again, just rounding into that. So let's do that just a couple times, maybe inhaling to raise through the head and exhaling to round through the spine. Notice for this next round how it changes the sensation in your legs. Nice. This time, roll all the way up. So let your hands just kind of slide up your legs there. Nice work. So legs can be however you want. We call it the Sthira Sukha Asanam, your stillness, your comfort pose where you can sit comfortably. If it's like this, stay like this. I'm a cross-legged kind of gal, so I always go cross-legged. We're going to continue our arms. We'll go back to the legs. That way nothing gets too tired or too overstretched. So we'll take our right hand out to the side and give ourselves a half hug here. Left hand is going to come up to the elbow to assist it. So I feel a stretch kind of on the outside of my shoulder there. I'll rotator cuff. There we go. And then I might lean to the left a little bit just to get into the ribs. I feel it in the waist as well now. And I'm going to even lean my head towards the left. I don't want my right butt cheek to lift up too far. I want to keep it rooted there. Let's come on back to center. Open up your wings and we'll do the other side. So squeeze them back and then the left arm will come in for a half hug. Right hand does the assist. So I come to the elbow. You might kind of pull around from the shoulder. Either one works. Make sure it doesn't hurt. And then we'll lean a little bit to the right to really stretch out. This side's a lot tighter for me. And take a deep breath. Nice job. Return to center whenever you want to. If you need a little longer, stay a little longer. And we'll open those wings up when you're ready. Don't worry, we're going to continue here. Right hand, we're going to try to reach it up to the ceiling and reach for the back of your head. We've got 3 assists here. Beginners, use your left hand. Grasp onto your right fingers so that they're kind of grasping like an opera singer, but behind your left ear. I don't like that one. I like to grab onto my right elbow with my left hand and assist it that way. And then the full advanced version is like this. I can barely touch on this side. But that one's pretty hard. So find the version that you like and then try to look straight ahead. Because what happens is we tend to round over in this. So try to lift up through your chest. Nice job. Release those arms down. Roll out that right shoulder. Forwards, backwards. Nice. Other side. Left arm is going to reach out, reach up, maybe behind your head. You've got the version where you interlace your fingers or grasp your fingers right behind your right ear. You've got the version where you use your right hand on your left elbow, or you can kind of sweep that, what hand is that? Right hand, all the way around and grasp your fingers for the advanced version. But whatever you choose, try to sit up tall. Maybe you do like to lean a little bit to the right there. So there's lots of different variety for each posture. You just have to be willing to explore this body that you live in. Release whenever you're ready to. Hold it longer if you like. And roll those shoulders out. Nice. Maybe those on the mic can hear my pops. All right. So let's extend these legs once again. We'll come back into the lower body. We'll keep our right leg straight and bend our left knee out to the side. Be sure to support that left knee if it hurts having it dropped out to the side there. Rotate your chest, your sternum, right towards your right foot. You can either slide down. Of course, I like to do the big lift with an inhale first, and then fold over top. I try to bow my head down towards my right knee, and I'm gonna breathe. Breathing in, filling up to my lungs, my head, my chest, and then letting it drain out, exhaling. Just a couple more breaths like that. Letting your body try to relax as you stretch here. Feeling it behind your right knee, in your right hamstring. Great work, everybody. We're gonna readjust our posture, so go ahead and roll up. Our next is like a combination pose. So we separate our left foot from our right thigh. We have to adjust our hips. When we adjust our hips out to the side, you can feel your right inner thigh stretching there. Our right hand will reach down our right leg, and we need to sweep all the way out so that our chest is pointing out towards the left. Left hand, reach it up to the sky. Maybe you continue over your body so that you are leaning with both arms with your head towards the right foot. If you find that your chest, your sternum, your belly button is rotated down, try to open it up towards the left so that you bring that movement, that stretch into the left waist. Relax. I know it can be hard to relax while you're here stretching. But remember, muscles that are contracted and activated cannot lengthen. We'll bring ourselves back up whenever the time comes, whenever you're ready. Rotate ahead, but don't unbend your left knee quite yet. We're gonna kind of just cross it over top the right thigh. So it's like a figure 4 now. So right leg is straight, left leg is crossed over top. So we'll do the beginner version, and then I'll add the intermediate version. So I'm gonna just kind of swing my hands back behind to support myself and slide this right foot up towards my body. So even if you don't get your leg all the way flat or your foot all the way flat, it's okay. Just sliding it up as much as your body will allow. If you feel a good stretch right here, yeah, you're doing good. You can stay in this version, so feel free to just stay like this if you're feeling a good stretch. I don't feel too much in this version, so I'm going to show you the intermediate version as well. So I lengthen out my right leg, pick up my left leg with my arms like the leg baby pose, and then pull it up to my chest. So it's the same pose, it's just a little different. So instead of the legs bringing it to the chest, my arms are bringing it up to the chest. So there's lots of different versions of this posture. Seated pigeon is what it is. And then I just was inspired, funnily and sillily enough, from Instagram. And I learned a new pose. I'm going to call it bridging. So I'm going to have you bring that ankle, the left ankle, on top of the right knee. Bring those hands back just like we did for the beginner version. Slide that foot up just like you did for the beginner version. And then we're going to bridge it. Nice. Bridging. You're bridging. A bridge and a pigeon. Nice job. We'll lengthen it out, kick that left leg out, wiggle it out a couple times. Bridgeons. They do, they live under bridges. Pigeons do. All right, let's do the other leg here. So I'm gonna bend my right knee into the inner thigh. First, we're doing Janusir Shasana, which is head to knee pose. So you can slide down first, or you can reach up first, create that length, and then fold over top. The choice is yours. However you like to enter those postures is good. Head to knee to increase the sensation, and then breathe into your head, into your lungs, into your chest. Letting that air, that energy drain out as you exhale. It's amazing. When I first started class, I was kind of congested, had some mucus, and that's kind of all cleared out by the use of this breath. Nice work, everyone. Again, just stay as long as you'd like. When your body says, all right, it's time to switch to the next move, you can roll yourself back up. Be nice and controlled with all these movements, even exiting your postures. We're going to separate the right foot from the left thigh. I have to adjust my hips to get my hips feeling right. I already feel left inner thigh stretching here. Left hand down the left leg, right hand out to the right, so the chest is pointed out to the right. The right hand might guide up to the sky and over your head. So again, both hands, your head, your crown, reaching towards the left foot. The heart opening towards the right. Breathing into the lungs, into the head. Last breath, maintaining, trying to relax your muscles. Come on up out of that pose when you're ready, or stay longer if you could use a little longer in that posture if it's feeling really good. We'll rotate back ahead for seated pigeon. So if there's a seated pigeon that you like, we've got this easy version where you support yourself and slide your left foot up towards your body with the right knee in that figure 4. Or we've got the intermediate version where you scoop your leg up like a leg baby. Either one is good. They're both the same. They're just a little different. And with both versions, I'm kind of rocking my leg from side to side, feeling that stretch in the side of my hip down into my glutes a little bit. It's good. We're getting back to hiking weather. So those glutes are the things that do that hiking for us, and we got to stretch them out. All right, let's move into bridging. If you want to, of course. I'll bring my hands back behind me, slide that left foot up, and then I'm going to push onto my left foot, squeeze my butt, look up at the ceiling for a bridging. It's okay. We're getting there. We're getting there, right? We're getting that strength. When you're ready, release, slide out, unwind, shake out your wrists, shake out your legs. Nice job. Let's do a Badakanasana real fast before we try another forward fold. So feet together, knees apart. As close as you want to bring your feet is good. Sit up nice and tall and start to lean into it if you'd like a little bit more sensation. And then try to breathe. I also notice as I'm breathing, as I'm letting that breath kind of drain out, that it allows my body to relax and kind of surrender and deepen that posture. So I feel myself sinking a little bit with every exhale. Nice work. I really like movement too. So I like to rock from side to side. It can be quick. You can maintain that slide from side to side and let it stretch a little bit. Or it can just be more of a lubrication, rocking. There's a lot of variation when it comes to yoga, so make sure to do whatever it is that feels good to you. And if you try something new, make sure to share it with me, because I often get lots of inspiration from seeing my students do fun, new, creative things. You can roll yourself up whenever you're ready. All right, kick those legs out. Wiggle them out a little bit. I always get a little in the top of my thigh, a little bit of warmth. Now I want us to activate our legs, because if our legs get lazy, then it's a different stretch. It's not wrong, but I want us to really get into these hamstrings. So you can, again, just slide right down, or you can sweep up first and then fold over. There's a lot of ways, so do the one that works best for you. Here in this forward fold, you can have a straight back, you can have a rounded back. What feels good in your back for your legs? Can you come back to that Bhramara breath, breathing in all the way to the head, to the throat, and then exhaling, letting it drain out. Rolling up whenever you're ready. I think we're ready to transition to hands and knees here. So I'm gonna sweep my legs around and kind of hoist myself up and rearrange all my equipment here. So I'm gonna come to hands and knees, and I like to have a blanket for underneath my knees. I'll get my tea out of the way here. Check the time. Perfect. I don't even need a clock to do yoga class anymore. Fingers spread here. Of course, that's the traditional method. So if it feels better for you to have your hands cupped or to use knuckles, you can do that. Up to you. Now we want to make a tabletop, and so with tables, you've got those 4 legs that are nice and sturdy and they don't move. So we don't want to bend our elbows here. We want to keep them nice and straight. Drop your belly through, look up. That's called cow pose. And then lift up through your belly up into your spine and look down. That's called cat pose. So again, my arms aren't really changing. They're staying like table legs, just my spine, my head, and my pelvis. The shoulder blades sliding. So if you're like me and you've got those crunchies around your shoulder blades, you might hear them while you do this. I do. Every time that shoulder blade slides up, crunch, crunch, slides down, crunch, crunch. Nice work. I like to move into dog wags eventually, kind of just rocking my hips from side to side. I really feel it kind of in the side of my pelvis and glute minimus. But if you have knee injuries, you might be feeling that a lot in your knees too. Nice work, everyone. Let's take the weight off of our hands. We'll find our resting pose. So I'm going to separate my knees, slide back. We've got a puppy pose. That's one option. An extended cat pose, or sinking all the way into child's pose. If you're a person where your knees do not like this flexion, feel free to roll yourself out onto your belly and come into crocodile pose. So those are all really good resting poses. You might try them and just see which one suits you and your body the best. Taking the weight off of your hands, wiggling those fingers out a little bit, maybe rolling out the wrists. All right. I'm going to roll myself up to my tabletop. Stay as long as you need, rest as long as you need. And from here, I'm going to practice a couple kinds of planks. We got to get these core muscles strengthening. So beginners here, walk your hands one hand print in front of where they were for tabletop. So tabletop is nice and stacked, one hand print in front. So now my table legs are about to slide out. And I'm going to kind of walk my knees back a little bit. And then I'm going to not drop my hips like this, but I have to pull them forward into alignment. So I know I'm in the right spot when I'm like, oh, that's hard. So I want it to be, and I don't know because I don't have a mirror, but a straight line from my head to my knees. This is a beginner plank. Pull that belly button into your spine. Now when you're ready, you can slide back for your child's pose. Take that weight off of your hands. I should say your resting pose, because it might not be child's pose. Good job. Now those wrists take a lot of the brunt of that force. If they're hurting, if you're feeling some heat in there, that's a good thing. That means your bones are getting stronger. And bones require pressure on each other to get stronger. Great job, everyone. I'm going to add one more style on, but if that beginner plank was good for you, go back to that, please. I'm going to just show you a normal old plank here, okay? So again, from tabletop, I walk my hands one hand print forward, I tuck my toes, and what I'm trying to do is move my sternum straight in between my hands. So I have to kind of lift up onto my tippy toes when I'm there. And I don't want to be sinking, and I don't want to be hiking. I want to be a plank of wood. It's really hard. And you know you're in the right spot when you're like, oh, it's hard. You can drop to your knees anytime. That's a beginner plank. Nothing wrong with a beginner plank. When your wrists are starting to be a little warm, a little sore, it's time. Drop to your knees, walk your hands or slide them back. Nice job, nice planks. We're going to practice those today during the Sun Salutation. So for now, I'm just rolling out my wrists, getting some of that lubrication in those bones, in between those bones. Nice work, everybody. Let's start to transition up to standing. So I'm gonna roll up to hands and knees, tuck those toes. That's a crucial step to getting up. Lift up off the knees for my first downward facing dog. I like to pedal it out a couple times and feel how tight my calves are because they're pretty tight. And then I'm going to start to walk forward because we've had a lot of pressure on our hands lately. So walking your hands up, your feet up or your hands back, whatever you need to, and we'll start to dangle. So bend your knees, separate your feet even wider. Really try to hang out here. Ragdoll. Some people let their hands drag on the floor. Some people grasp onto opposite elbows. For some, this is not comfortable. So if it hurts your low back, bend your knees deeper. Sit into that invisible chair. Perhaps even lift your elbows to sit on top of your thighs. There's a lot of different ways. Nice. Let's take a really deep breath. Sweep your arms out. Lift slowly up to the sky. You might take more than one breath on your ascension, lifting all the way up to standing and then bringing the hands down to the head. Nice job. I'm going to scoop my mat back so that I'm not decapitated on the video here. That's better. All right. So starting at Samastiti, which means our hands are at our heart center, our knees are slightly soft, so they're not locked, shoulders roll back. Now this is a good time to come back to the Bhramara breath, energy drawing up to your lungs, your throat, your head, exhaling as it kind of drains back down, back out. And perhaps rectifying some of our wishes, our dreams, our prayers, our intentions right now for this spring season, for this day, for this week. Inhale right here at the heart and exhale, let your hands come down to the sides. We'll sweep those hands out, perhaps over your head if the arms like that, and then we'll swan dive into a forward fold. So I bring my knees bent, feet flat. I do like to separate my feet even wider here. So I've got probably like almost 10 inches between my feet. And then I'm just going to straighten one leg. Right now I'm straightening my left leg and I can really feel it behind my knee and in my calf, but my right knee's still bent. And then I'm just going to switch them. So now my right leg is straight and my left knee is bent. And I'm just holding it, breathing, stretching. You can move in and out of these postures as quickly or slowly as you'd like. Great job. Just switching legs, straightening one leg, bending the other. Letting it stretch, taking some time. Sometimes time is the missing piece of the recipe. So give yourself some time to let go. All right, I'm gonna roll myself up halfway. So I press onto my shins, I press onto my knees, onto my thighs to lengthen my spine straight out. As I do this, I continue looking down at my yoga mat so that my neck doesn't crunch by anteriorly bending too much. And then we'll release back down. Now let's do that with breath 2 more times. Inhaling, lift halfway. Exhale, bend both knees and fold. One more, lifting up to the crown, so energy to the crown, and then exhale, forward fold. Fingertips to the mat here. Choose one foot. I'm doing my left foot first, so I'm going to step my left foot back, drop to my palm, step my right foot back into downward facing dog. I set myself up because we're going to practice that plank. You've got beginner plank and the advanced plank. So whenever you're ready, roll forward, your sternum right over top your palms. We're going to hang out here for a couple seconds, couple breaths. A minute, a whole minute, Dan. No, I mean, you can if you want to. I'm going to drop to my knees to go to beginner plank. There's nothing wrong with switching to beginner plank halfway through. And when you're ready, lower yourself down. So yes, those advanced yogis, they might hold that plank for a whole minute, and it's really hard. So I had a teacher say, if you can hold a pose for 5 deep breaths, you got it. So from here, we've got to make a little back bend. So you could do like a sphinx where you just look up and push your chest and your belly down into the floor. You could start to peel up into cobra. I might be able to do an up dog today. And then we'll lower back through cobra, back to sphinx, back to crocodile. Let your butt relax. Tuck those toes, and let's see if we can roll up to beginner plank, readjust. I tuck those toes even deeper, lift up to plank, and then hike those hips up for a downward facing dog. So now we reverse the sun salutation. Pedal out those heels in downward facing dog. Look towards your hands when you're ready to shift and start to walk your feet forward or walk your hands back. When you get to that forward fold, adjust your feet, lift halfway, inhaling as you go, flat back, and then exhale, bend your knees. Again, separate your feet if you need more room for the forward fold. Make it a rag doll if you'd like, just by relaxing, letting yourself hang. Nice job. Some people like to add a little sway here. I'm going to prepare myself. I'm going to take a big inhale, sweeping my arms out and lifting all the way to my head, to the crown, so that energy is lifting. Exhale, let it drain. And continue breathing here in Samastiti. Our next sun salutation will be faster, so it's going to be more of a Vinyasa style. And so take your time. Move slower than me. Move faster than me. Yesterday when I was teaching this, I kind of was doing a regular old sun salutation and had one lady do 3 in the time that we did 1. So I'm like, dang, you're fast. So move with your breath. Inhale right here at your heart. Exhale, hands come down to the sides. Inhale up over your head, gather all that good energy, lift it up, and then let it drain out as you forward fold. We'll inhale to lift halfway, lift through your back, flat back. Exhale, back to your forward fold, hands to the mat, step 1 foot back, then the other, set yourself up for downward facing dog, set up your feet, set up your hands. We'll roll forward into plank. 3 deep breaths in plank. So you can drop to your knees in this plank. Puff up through your chest, the back of your chest, shoulder blades. Nice job. You can lower to your knees. You can lower down onto your thighs, belly, chest. And then a heart lift in reverse, a back bend. Lifting up when you're ready, coming back down to the mat. And now we're going in reverse. So find your way back to plank and back to downward facing dog. Nice job. In downward dog, I usually cue to look back at your feet. So if that feels good, it feels right for your body, you can do that. Nice job. Look towards your hands, big inhale, stepping forward, walking your hands back. Exhale to just come to the posture. Inhale to lift to a flat back, half forward fold. Exhale, back to your forward fold. 2 more breaths, relax. Try to let go. Nice work. Reverse swan dive. Sweep those arms out, carry yourself up, let the energy rise past your head, up into the ethers. We'll exhale back down, heart center. If you guys are getting warm, you can turn that down if you want to. It's pretty warm in here today. It's spring. Yeah, I'm like, it's spring. It was nice. Yeah, like last night when I took our evening walk, I only wore a jacket and not a whole coat. So that was nice. All right. So let's practice a warrior 3, which is a balance, into a lunge on each side. Okay. So hands at heart center, because that reminds us of that center line of our body, that central channel. I'm going to ground into my right foot and slide my left foot back. My toe's still on the floor. This is an assisted warrior 3. I'm assisting myself with my toe. If you want more challenge, lift that left foot up off the ground. Now I'm really using my glute to lift that leg back so you can feel it burning. From there, I start to kind of teeter-totter forward to deepen that warrior 3. So up to you as far as you want to go. Nice job. You can reach your arms out like wings if that feels better. Nice job. Just holding that as long as you can, but if your balance is off today, it's okay. You can hold onto a wall or something like that too. Teeter-totter back up. Let's march in place. Let's try that warrior 3 on the other side, and then we'll add the full combination. So left foot grounded onto the floor. I put all my weight into it and slide my right foot back.
Breathe, sorry.
Sorry, he's breathing. She lives with you though. Nice job. If you want to lift your right foot, you can, but you're going to feel your glute. Nice job. Keep on breathing, even if it's through your mouth a little bit. Sometimes when we get a lot of energy, we have to like let it out through the mouth. That's okay. Just try not to breathe in through your mouth. Nice job, everyone. It's burning. Step it down when you're ready and march it out. Pretty good balance today. I'm impressed. Especially because the planets are like all clumped up on each other right now. All right, let's do the whole combination. So I'm like looking at this little spot on the floor right here. That way I'm not looking at all of you and falling off my balance. So I've got my right foot rooted. I'm going to slide my left foot back and reach out like I am flying. And then I'm going to bend my standing right leg and just step my left foot far back with my heel up. I have to sink through my pelvis, and then we'll reach up through the upper body. Remember that energy as we breathe in rises up to the head, and then it drains out and we can ground. So soften your legs, both legs. Inhale, reach up, the energy reaches. Exhale, ground, the legs are starting to burn. It's good. One more breath. All right, let's see if we can supercharge these legs and just step forward. Oh, nice. March it out. One more side. All right, left foot roots. We're gonna slide the right foot back, maybe reach those arms out like you're flying in a warrior 3. When you're ready to step back, bend your standing left knee and step that right foot all the way back as far as you can. We'll lift up through the upper body. And exhale, grounding, softening, letting both knees soften a little bit. Inhale, the energy rises. Exhale, the energy grounds. One more. We'll supercharge our legs and try to step our right foot forward. Nice job. You did it. You did it. All right. Now, last week we practiced this other balance. So if you're like, my balance is not great today, maybe you go by your counter or by a wall so you can keep a hand on something, or a friend. So again, I have to find a spot to look at because I don't want to watch you guys. I will though. But the right knee, I'm going to lift it up and try to catch it. So you might just catch it with your right hand. So if your hand is on the wall, right hand on the front of the right knee. That's so good. Beautiful. So it's modified hand to big toe position. We're doing hand to knee position. So if you're like, oh, I could stretch my leg out long and hold my foot, then maybe you try that. But that's not beginner, that's for sure. Nice job. I'm going to copy you, Dan. So right hand on the right knee, and we're going to pull the knee out to the side. Yeah, dang it. Nice. I know that takes us off a little bit. Okay, nice. I'm like, you deserve an applause. Those are hard. And great job at home too. I can see that balance. All right, let's try the other leg when you're ready. So if you're still maintaining, and I see still people holding this at home, so just hold it as long as you can. So this time it's left knee. We're gonna just pull our left knee into our hip there and try to balance. And then eventually you can try to pull that knee out to the side. Yeah, great job. We're gonna get this, I swear. You already got it. Release down when you're ready. And that's the best way when you're like, whoa, my balance. It's best to just like fall out gracefully instead of trying to hold it and actually falling over. So great job. So eventually we'll be able to, use a yoga strap and like wrap it around our foot, and hold it straight out like that or something. Or our arms will be long enough to just grab our foot. So we'll get there. We're working on it. Yeah, it's like, well, let's try. My right leg is, there we go. So yeah, we keep trying. Try again. Let's do a half salutation. So that means we are gonna get to plank. Hold it if you want to. We'll lower down and press into child's pose. So if you want to do the whole vinyasa, you're more than welcome to. So hands at the heart center. Remember your intention, your prayer, whatever it is that you're trying to kind of envelop or dedicate your practice to. Inhale right here. Exhale, hands to the sides of your body. It's called mountain position, Tadasana. Inhale, sweep the hands up, upward salute. Exhale to the swan dive, to the forward fold, which is called Uttanasana. It literally means standing forward fold. Inhale, lift to half forward fold. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale back to your forward fold. We'll find our way to plank. So I'm stepping one foot back, setting myself up for a nice downward dog, setting my feet, setting my hands, and then rolling forward into plank. Gazing down at a spot between my hands, puffing up through my shoulders, core pulling up, core pulling in. You can drop to your knees anytime. I'm going to lower to my knees and slide back to child's pose. But if you'd like to Vinyasa, which means chaturanga, lowering to the floor, up dog, down dog, back to here. I'll meet you here when you're ready. Breath coming back to that Bhramara Mudra, that Bhramara breath. Pulling up to the head, that energy, and then draining out. Great job. We've got 5 minutes before our time is complete. So let's take these 5 minutes to relax. Yogi's choice of movement. So I'm just gonna walk my knees to one side and drop my hip over, swing those legs around. I like to use my blanket as a pillow now, so I just kind of roll it up and slide it back. And then I like to roll onto my back and pull my knees up into my chest with me. It's a reverse child's pose. The knees can be wide. The knees can be closer together. That is up to you. I like to rock my back into the floor. And again, this is yogi's choice. So if there are some other moves that you would like to accomplish here today, now is the time. I will always try to invite you to relax for these last few minutes. Whether it's laying completely on the ground in Shavasana or just relaxing with the feet flat and the knees knocked in together. Remembering that Bhramara breath, once again, where it fills our head, our throat, our lungs, and clears those passageways, draining out with the exhale. Try to let your body just be, just lay here on the ground right now. Release your face, your teeth, your tongue. Let your head just sink into the mat. Let your shoulders roll back and your hands just be heavy, either on the ground, on your belly, on your chest. Clear it out. Feel how heavy the center of your body is, which is your pelvis, sinking into the floor. Let go of your legs. Take the deepest breath that you've taken all day. Just take it in nice and deep into the lungs, into your heart, and let it go. If your legs are not straight, then join me and lengthen your legs out. Point your toes, flex your toes, draw some circles with your toes, both directions. Reach your arms out, down, up overhead if you want. Circle your wrists, spread your fingers, whatever you like. If you're sitting up, you can just reach up to the sky and do the same thing. No worries. We can be different. And then if you want to, you can roll over, you can roll up to seated, whatever you like. If you need to stay laying, you can do that. That's the beauty of doing yoga at home too, is that you can just press pause and just lay there as long as you like. I want to roll to a side and give a little gratitude for my body. And I'll come back to seated eventually. I hope that you feel better. Thank you so much for taking this hour and stretching your body with me and moving your body a little bit, getting it lubricated. I hope it feels a little looser, less pain. And let's again just take one of those deep breaths here together. Remember, that is always there to serve you. No matter what storms are brewing in the world, we can always bring ourselves back to this place, back to home. I thank you once again for joining me here today, for press and play on your practice. I bow to you. In yoga, we say namaste, which means the supreme sweetness and divine light inside of you is also inside of me. Namaste and shukriya. Thank you. Thank you. You're awesome. Thank you, everyone at home, for